स्वागत है ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਮਿਸ ਕਮਲ ਢਿੱਲਨ ਨਾਲ the author autobiography ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਲਿਖੀ ਆਪਣੀ black and blue sari. She's here with us, a victim and a survivor of domestic violence and a strong woman ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ who took the step forward and is here today for the first time on television in the US taking this step forward. Kamal, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ break ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ you told us that this was the first time कि तुहाडे हस्बैंड ने तुहाडे उत्ते हथ चुक्या सी लाइफ अंदर किसी ने भी तुहाडे ते पहली बारी हथ चुक्या सी जदों ये होया तुसी अपने फ्रेंड्स नू पेरेंट्स नू किस नू कॉन्टैक्ट कीता हु इज़ द फर्स्ट पर्सन यू नो कोई एक बंदा हुंदा सी कहंदे आई गॉट टू टॉक टू समबडी डिड आई डू द राइट थिंग ये होया कि मेरे नाल व्हाट डिड यू डू हु डिड यू
like anybody I called my mom.
You called your mom
and my dad loved me. He died a year and a half ago and I called them. They came, but when my husband found out they were coming, he locked their bedroom door and he said they're not to come. But I still let my mom and dad come in, and they saw how bad my face was. It was broken, it was swollen, it was bruised, it was many colors. And they continued to say, we want to talk to him, but he didn't come. And then mom and dad said, but make it work, like any mom would.
They said make it work.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if, you know, just be quiet, don't say anything to him.
Really? Okay. Do you feel agar unhone us time tada hath pakdiya hunda and said, you know what, we're walking out now for doing this, would things have been different?
I think so.
You think so?
I think, you know, the biggest mistake our parents make is when we get married, as we're going, they'll say, but this is not your house anymore.
Yeah.
When you come back as a guest. And I think a lot of us think we need permission to come back. We can't come back. We're no longer, this is not our house anymore.
And you felt that?
I felt that I needed permission. And so I know my mom felt terrible, my dad did too, but more than that, they were worried about their name, the pride in the community. I had a younger sister, and I had to think about others before I thought about myself. And so slowly, what he started doing was isolating me. I couldn't talk to my parents. He would monitor my calls.
Okay.
So when he wasn't home or he was in the bathroom, I would quickly dial. And I'd believe him if he would say, I know who you're calling when I'm not home. I really thought he had some equipment. That's how the brainwashing thing he was doing. So anything that I thought I knew, he knew better.
Did you ever then, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਸ इंसिडेंट ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਮੇਕ ਇਟ ਵਰਕ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਰਿਪੀਟਡਲੀ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਅਬਿਊਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ did you go back to your parents again?
Yes, I did.
You did?
I did. There was one time, I'm going ahead of myself right now, when I was pregnant with my second, actually I had given birth, and he had beat me up in a parking lot.
I remember.
And somebody called the police on him. And so I was bleeding and I ran to the police officer. This is the first time somebody's actually come to my aid. And I'm telling the officer that this is what's his story and there's two little ones in the back seat. And he said, in Punjabi, he goes, if you tell them, I'll kill you. And
Your husband said that?
My husband. And so the officer asked what he said and I repeated. So right away he was arrested and charged with assault and threatening to kill. And so he spent the weekend in jail, and I spent a night with my mom and dad, and then in a shelter.
In a shelter?
Because he would have access to their phone and threaten my parents.
So because of ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਾਪਿਓ ਦੇ ਡਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਾ ਹੋਏ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ
shelter
ਦੋਨੋਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੈਲਟਰ ਤੇ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ.
Oh wow. Okay. Kamal, through this whole process when you're going through domestic violence, when you're going through abuse, do you ever feel, of course, is there now ਤੁਹਾਡੇ thinking ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ effect ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ? You know, you feel like you're wrong, you're inferior, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਖਾਮੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ. Not knowing ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਗਲਤ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇਹ problem ਹੈ, not in you. In that, what did you, you know, I'm trying to understand कि what did you go through? ਤੁਹਾਡਾ mind frame ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸੀ? You know, you had 2 kids, you have 4 kids, but going through that whole process, you know, when you find out कि पहला बच्चा होने वाला है, it's a big thing for a mother, for a woman. How did you, किस दिन नाल जाके गल करोगे? फिर तुसी अगर माँ प्यो नाल नहीं गल कर सकते हो, you can't discuss it with them. What did you do? I mean, what are you going through all this? How did you go through it?
It was a very lonely world. Gurmeet, every day I would think, what's wrong with me? I wasn't like this for the first 18 years. I thought of myself as a beautiful girl. Here I couldn't do makeup. I was black and blue all the time, and that's how the title came. And I was scared. I was scared because every day he would instill more and more fear to the point where he was controlling my mind. When I was pregnant with my first, it was a very happy occasion. I thought, oh good, now he's going to become a husband because he's becoming a father.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was really happy thinking, he's going to be as overjoyed as I am. But it didn't happen. And so just days before I was to deliver my first baby, he took a gun to my family's house and threatened to kill them. And I didn't see the gun. I knew he had it. The police told me he had it. But I still protected him. Why? Because he could be out of jail within a week or days. And he would take that gun, which he told me, and he would kill my parents, my brothers and sisters, in front of me, and then kill me.
That's what he always threatened you with. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਇਹੋ ਧਮਕੀਆਂ ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ.
ਦੱਸਿਆ, if you left. If I left him, this is what he would do.
Now, I'm going to go back a little. When do you think you realized that there's a problem here? When you realize he's drinking, या पहली बारी जदों उन्होंने तानू मारिया है, या you started seeing a pattern? क्योंकि एक बारी अगर बंदे ने हाथ चुकिया है, he's going to do it again and again and again.
That's right.
So when did you realize that there's a problem, or there's something wrong in this relationship?
Well, I thought, you know, in the first few days when he was drinking, and I thought, you know, people do have a problem with alcohol, but they may be the nicest people.
Yeah.
You know, and there are good people who drink. And so I went into this marriage to make it work, with goals, with dreams, with the future. And I thought, little things that were coming, I thought it was temporary. It would go. But when he hit me, and then we tried to make it work, and it was good, you know, there was a bit of a honeymoon period, and then something else would come up. But it was a huge episodes where I was again broken until I was pregnant, and the incident that I mentioned. And from there, it just escalated to the point where I was electrocuted, I was hung, he forced me to drink poison to do him and the children a favor. And the favor was insurance money.
Yep.
And jokingly one day, you know, when you hear somebody repeatedly tell you over and over, you're not worth that, you know, do us